The Cubase MixConsole offers a very sophisticated and detailed feature set. As your project develops and you add more tracks, channels to that project, you can often find yourself repeating lots of basic configuration tasks within the MixConsole. This is where the Quick Link feature, Q-Link, can come in particularly handy. It allows you to quickly select a set of channels and then apply the same changes to all of those selected channels in a single operation. Now, if you're new to Cubase, this is a feature that's easy to miss, but once you know about it, it's also very easy to use. This should be a quick one, so let's get started. So first things first, we have to check that we've got the link options available to us within the MixConsole. Now, I'm in Cubase Elements here. Let's flip to the MixConsole display. And if I right-click on the top bar of my MixConsole, I can configure the various toolbar options that are displayed. One of those toolbar options is the link group option. You can see it isn't currently selected. I'm going to add that here then. And you can see now that a button labeled Q-Link has appeared within the toolbar. If you're using the Pro versions of Cubase, you will see some additional options here. Essentially offer two tiers to the channel linking system. But for our example here, I'm going to use just the Q-Link options. They're the ones that are the quickest and easiest to get to grips with, and they are available even if you're working within the Elements version of the Cubase software. As the name implies, and as you can see from the tooltip that appears, Quick Link is intended to give you a temporary linkage between a selection of channels. And what it then allows you to do for those selected channels is change various settings as a single operation applied to all of the selected channels. Let's illustrate that with some very simple examples. So within this project, I've got a number of drum tracks, and at the moment, all of my drum tracks are routed to the main stereo output. But if we scan across to the far side of the project, you can see I've got a group channel set up here as a drum bus. I want to now route all of those drum tracks to that drum bus. If I select all of the tracks, activate Quick Link, I can then change the routing in one channel, and that same change will be applied to all of the selected channels. Let's now open the pre-section. You can see here I've got the low-cut filter applied for a couple of these channels already. If I turn it off, it's turned off in all of the channels. If I turn it on, it's turned on in all of the channels. Let's do the same thing with the high-cut filter. Currently set at 20,000 Hertz for all of the channels. If I now adjust it, it will be adjusted for all of the channels. Here's the filter slope settings. If I change that to a 36 dB per octave slope in one of the channels, that same setting will be applied to all of the channels. Another example, if I go into the insert section, let's imagine I want to add a compressor plugin. Having added it to one track, that same compressor plugin is then present in that first slot for all of the tracks. If I go and add, let's say, an EQ, again, same thing. While Quick Link remains active, all of the channels get that insert plugin added. If I want to add a send to all of the channels, let's pick my reverb effects track, activate that send on all of the tracks, and adjust the value of the send. One thing that is worth noting though, part of initially configuring these drum tracks, I've got them all at different volumes to provide a suitable drum mix. With Quick Link selected, if I drag the fader of one channel, yes, they all adjust, but the relative differences between them is maintained. If I then pick a different set of tracks, I've left Quick Link active, it's those tracks that are now linked. So Quick Link, super easy to use, and in terms of basic configuration options and basic setting options, doing a single operation applied to multiple tracks, it's a really useful time saver. Now, there are some limitations to Quick Link, what you can do with a set of Quick Link channels. One of those limitations in particular I think is worth pointing out, and it would be great if Steinberg at some stage were able to address this, is if I go into the strip section, for example, and I want to load a strip preset, and I want that same preset applied across all of the channels in the Quick Link group, that actually doesn't happen. So let me pick a strip preset for this particular channel. Let's pick a female rock preset, That preset gets applied to the channel I was working with, but doesn't get applied to the rest of the channels within my quick link group. That's a shame, and it would be great again if Steinberg at some stage managed to add that feature to the quick link system. The second thing to watch out for is the behavior when you add insert plugins. So for example, we've got a de-esser added in this slot for 3 of my selected channels, but the other 3 channels, they've been configured individually, don't have a plugin added to that first slot. If I was to actually add a plugin, let's add an EQ. Notice what happens to my existing de-essers. They also get replaced. So you do need to be careful when adding insert plugins. Add those insert plugins into an empty slot, and you won't overwrite any existing plugins that might be on some of the individual channels within your quick link group. The Cubase feature set really is full of lots of useful details, and the quick link system within the MixConsole is just one example of that. It's a feature that if you're new to Cubase, it's quite easy to miss, but once you're aware of it, it can be incredibly useful, saving you from repeating tasks on multiple tracks as you're configuring your project, and therefore saving you some time. Anyway, if you're interested in this kind of Cubase and music tech related content, please do subscribe to the channel. Additionally, if you'd like to see some further Cubase resources, check out the links in the video description below. Until next time, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy getting some music made.